I've been away from ME310 and sugar network now for a couple of years, and I was planning this presentation so that what could I show to you, what should I tell to you, and what should we talk about. So first I collected a couple pictures and videos, and then I understood that no, you've been seeing those now year and a half, and let's talk about sugar network and this pedagogy rather than forcing you to see ready detailed and ready-made slides. So I'm a really old guy in this context. So I entered to Stanford University about or almost 20 years ago, and met Professor Larry Leifer for the first time. We had a meeting for 15 minutes that we will drink coffee, and then I'll go back to my other duties. I was working for Aalto University, which was a different name at that point. And that 15 minutes meeting turned out to be about 3 hours, and it changed my life entirely. Because I was a teacher in university, I was a researcher, not very good in researching, enthusiastic teacher, and when I came into this world, you call it all the time sugar, but the pedagogy, as you might all know, is exactly the same as in ME310, because they are the two branches from the same tree. And so I kind of realized there in California that, okay, this is my path, this is my way to do things, and this is probably something I want to invest a lot, and really a lot of my time, which I then did. So this was about almost 20 years ago. And at that point, it was not global. So sugar is actually the global version of ME310. We had 2 or 3 teams out of 10 which had a global partner, but then we started to grow, and actually the real power of this pedagogy we can see more in sugar network than in the original Stanford. Sorry to say that. Thank you, Annina, for having this kind of exercise of what you feel and what you think now, because now I'm taking up my crystal ball and tell you a little bit how you feel during the year, and how you will feel when you have the end session called XP. I think it's carrying that name still, and the main thing is that you will see the words of design thinking everywhere at the moment. That wasn't the case 15 years ago, but now it's every design office is using that. But now you are in the core of design thinking, actually. So you will see it, what it really is, what is the real existence of design thinking. And you will learn that during next 7-8 months, and you will live it. And that's a big difference to the guys who are working in design consultancies and have read 1 or even 2 books, and now they are professionals in design thinking. In about a year, you will be the professionals because you have lived that through. But being in this world and learning this, what you are going to learn, is actually pretty hard. I explain you what is learning. Learning is something when you make changes in your brain. You change the electrochemical reactions in your brain, you change the information networks and information processing in your brain, and you even build new physical structures in your brain. I've been working almost 10 years in neurology, and believe or not, but I know what I'm talking about in that. So this year is not going to be easy. It will be hard for you in that sense. There are other things which are not the normal way of learning. For instance, unlike many other courses, you will learn how to work in teams, which are in 2 countries, in teams where are super much different people. I mean both genders, I mean religions. There might be cultural differences which are huge, and this will be part of your learning experience. So what I have told to my students before is that this is the fastest way, absolutely fastest way, to learn how to do design in a global context. You will be professionals in that also, because you have lived through the entire project in that. I'm not saying it's easy. It's not. It will be demanding. Also, one thing is that in your teams, and I think you will get your challenge after this week, the corporate challenge. So in your project, you don't have a project manager, and that was something what was, we had like hundreds of conversations about this policy in California like 20 years ago already, that why don't we use project managers? It is because project manager will learn a lot, and the other guys will not learn all the same things what the project manager is. So if you put the entire team to be responsible of the team and of the actions, again you will learn something which is hard to find in how would I say, normal curriculums in around the planet. So I would say that congratulations for selecting this course. There is, when we talk about responsibility, if the entire team is responsible of what to do, it means that, let's say we have here responsibility. I'm making a chart. Responsibility is here, and timeline is here, like this. And the timeline we go. So in the beginning, your teaching teams will take responsibility and give you a lot of information. But they will pull out their fingers in the soup slowly, and their responsibility of your work goes down, but your responsibility, which is really small in the beginning, will grow. And in the end of the project, you are entirely responsible of your decisions. I can tell you a story from year, I think 2008. We had a team for Panasonic, and it was enthusiastic and really good team, but they had struggled a lot to what to really build and what to do in the end of the year. And as late as in March, they got a good idea, and we were applauding that. Okay, great. Now the team finally they could decide what they do, and they are terribly late. You know, March, and the XP was in the beginning of June. So 1 month later, they came to talk to me and said that Lauri, you told in the beginning that your responsibility goes down and our responsibility goes up, and we have decided that we don't do this. We want to do something with music. And it was a serious moment for us as professors, because because we had to eat the medicine what we had shared with the students all the time, and they said, like, seriously, Lauri, you told us. So we decided that, okay, actually we didn't decide, we just said, yeah, that's true, because that's the way how we work. They took the responsibility, they collected the parts from China. Those days it was not as fast as now. They bought part of the software from somewhere, probably China or India, and they managed to build one of the greatest projects at that time with that technology. Was Annina and others, they can show you their hilarious old-fashioned video if you want. So keep this in your mind, and remember that your teachers, they are one of the best in the world, and in this subject probably the best in the world. So they are supporting you during the challenging year, because there is one thing, which is that this is a real project. At the same time, this is a real flight simulator. You may fail, and if you almost fail, so they will help you to solve the problems. They will help you to see the issues what you have in your journey. But this, for most of you, if you are last year students, this might be the last flight simulator, and enjoy that, because now you have all the support and whatever you need. Let's talk about prototyping. You have heard word prototyping. Probably, I would guess, without knowing anything about your week, but I would say that each and every one of you have heard the word prototyping about 200 times during the week. And you might start to be tired of that. But I explain you 7 things what I understand in prototyping. I hope I will remember that. Think about prototyping as a tool, and it's a really powerful tool for you. The first thing what you can use prototyping is that when you're in a dead end alley and you're hitting your head in the brick wall, this is how you feel when you don't know what to do next and everything seems to be difficult. Ideate and prototype it. So prototyping is a good and powerful tool for ideation, for ideating. It is used a lot for that. Quite often people don't understand how well they use it, but you will learn to do this. The second thing is that you have heard about that empathy for users and you need to understand the user. Yes, prototyping is also for that. It's you can prototype services by acting out. You can prototype hardware, software by doing it very quickly. I give you an example. I had a project, this kind of project in China, and we needed to understand people in the coal mines. So they went out and said that we will do a prototype because we really couldn't understand how they think under the ground. So they stole a doll, like a man-sized doll, from a store. At least they said that they stole it. And then we put all the gears what the mining guy has, and it's a lot. On top of them, the doll, and we gave him a name, and we put the hair on and like a wig, and and a helmet and all that. And every day we talked to him. We said that, hey, I don't remember what his name was, but he was standing there for 6 months in the corner. So we started to feel that, okay, we are part of that team. Use prototyping for all kind of actions in user studies, what you can do. You have been talking about learning experience versus failure. I think so, or you will hear it later. Also, when you take a prototype, you try out something new technology or new way of using something. If you break the prototype, it's really good, as they have probably taught you now. But the difference between failure and when you're using prototypes, the difference between failure and between learning experience is that when you break the prototype, you got an idea, you prototype the idea, you try it out, you break it. If you can say that I broke this because an A, B, C, D, it turns, that failure turns to learning experience. Then you know much more. Your brain has changed, your way of thinking has changed, and your project is getting better. So you can use it for testing. Then we come to the something what you have not been talking with your teachers so far. I think I guess you can use prototyping for thinking. Like if you're just idling, you're just sitting in your chair and you don't know what to do, and you don't have any target, but your project is somewhere back in your head, ticking there. So you can just take something in your hands and start clay or piece of pen and paper and start to do it, and let your thinking lead your prototyping. As a sudden, probably you Anni is laughing there. And so to see where it leads you in the next step. And here we come to the next thing, which is that, let's say you have a prototype in your hand and you want to build something out of that prototype. If it's a mean of communication for your team. So now you can think together. I can show to Henrik and Maximilian this and say that I have an idea, and as you have been taught how to build on ideas, yes, and it's a common, this stupid piece of paper starts to be a common tool for a tool for common thinking, and that's a serious benefit what you can do. In like thinking together is extremely hard, and it's really hard to do this in a global team. So pay attention to the beginning of, this is my advice for you, pay attention in the beginning of the project for your global partners. Laugh with them, talk with them, and find ways to like them and try to understand why they are cool guys because and gals, because they are, for sure. Now you've been, for this week, you have been probably week or two before also at your own premises. You have been learning a little bit of engineering science. Probably you have built something more challenging, like a paper bike. I'm not sure about that. And now you think that you will learn to, and you believe that you will learn to work in teams, and you will learn to to do engineering stuff together. Actually, it's not true. This is not what you have been. Yeah, and you will learn this year much more than that. These teaching teams, global teaching teams, will teach you how to think. Brain is the most powerful tool in this planet, and the most powerful computer. And you will learn how to use it in a totally new and different way. After this last sentence, I will show you the music instrument, but I wish you good luck for your journey. This is a journey, and it will not be. I think each and every one of you will try at some point, but this will be the experience of your life. You will learn how to think, and I wish you a good journey. I hope we will meet in XP next year, and my wish is that you aim high and be proud of doing that. My name is Lauri Repokari, and I'm an old guy in this context. I wish you a good year, and now I bring my instrument, and thank you so much.